Hey, room 303. So, hi again. We just got done with our morning reading lesson and a few things. I've done a little bit more researching on how to better manage the meeting, so keeping microphones muted and things like that. I also wanted to share that I got so caught up in what I was doing that I didn't record it like I wanted to. So then I went ahead and recorded another lesson, only to find out that it doesn't record what I'm showing on the screen. So it only showed my face all the time, which isn't helpful when I'm trying to show things on the screen. So I went ahead and printed out the book I read today. So those of you that were not able to zoom in to today's lesson that I shared with the kids this morning can take a look. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So today we talked a little bit about nonfiction and we talked about text features. So the three text features that I showed the kids are the table of contents, the title of the book, and the glossary. And so the book that I shared today on the computer screen was called Strange Plants. And we talked about how a title of a book can obviously help us know exactly what we're going to learn about when we choose the book off the shelf. So in this book today, we're going to see photos and learn information about strange plants. The author wrote this book to teach us about these types of plants because they might be plants that we don't know about. When we open the page, this particular book does not have a table of contents because it's a shorter book, but it does have some really beautiful photos. And it starts like this. When we think about plants, we often think of trees, flowers, and grass. Like most plants, these plants have green leaves. They also have roots growing into the ground. And the caption on this photo says that this plant is a Gerber daisy. This might be the type of plant you were thinking of. Some plants, like this cactus over here, are not like most plants. This book is about some of these strange plants. Plants called air plants live in trees high above the ground. Their roots are not buried in dirt. Instead, they grow on tree branches. They take moisture from the air, not from the soil, as most plants do. So this is a photo, it says, of air plants growing on swamp trees. Can you imagine plants that eat meat? Well, there are such plants. They eat insects, spiders, and even some other small animals. One well-known meat-eating plant is the Venus flytrap. There's the close-up photo of it. I bet some of you have heard about these. Its leaves look like traps. They have small spikes along their edges. When a critter walks inside a leaf, the leaf snaps shut. The critter is trapped. And this photo's caption says, "A fly caught in a Venus flytrap." The sundew is also a meat-eating plant. This is the sundew right here. It has many sticky hairs on its surface. Insects landing on it get stuck. Then the plant digests the insects. The giant sundew plant of Australia even eats small frogs. So this morning we talked about how when a word is bolded, it means pay attention to me. I'm an important word and you need to understand me to make meaning of this page. So the word digest will also be found in the back of the book in the glossary. So let's go back to the glossary and see what it says for digest. Now remember, a glossary comes in ABC order, so you can find the word really quickly. So I see A, B, there's no C, here's D, digests. Processes food in the body and turns it to energy. Okay, so if you're digesting, you're processing food into energy. So let's use that again here. It says the plant digests the insects. So it gets energy from the insects when it eats it. Some plants, let's see if I can get this page better. There we go. Some plants steal food from other plants. The daughter plant sends root-like parts into another plant. It sucks food and water from the plant. It is a parasite. A parasite lives off another living thing. So the word parasite is another bold word. Can you see how this plant is kind of coiling around the other plant? And it says here in the text that a parasite is a living thing that lives off of another living thing. So a lot of you this morning talked about other creatures like lice or ticks or mosquitoes, things that live off of other things. A lot of times we think of parasites as kind of gross, but they're out there. And plants can be one too. Many flowers have bad smells that attract insects. The Stapelia flower smells like rotting meat. Flies like the smell, so they fly into the flower. Special powder gets on their bodies. They take the powder to other flowers. The flowers use the powder to make seeds and grow new plants. So here's that flower. Doesn't look like it would be too smelly, does it? Some plants look like stones. The plants in this picture are called stone plants or living stones. They live in very hot, dry places. They hold water very well. Their shape helps to hide them so that animals do not eat them. So a way to camouflage, right? Some cactus are covered with wool-like hairs. The wool protects them from daytime heat. It protects them from nighttime cold. The wool also helps the cactus plants hold moisture. This cactus is called old man cactus. You could see why. Some trees and shrubs grow out of solid rock. They grow up high where the wind blows strong. Their roots reach down into small cracks for moisture. As the roots grow, they split the rock. So here's a close-up of that photo. Some plants have animals living inside them. Ant colonies live inside ant plants. They use spaces in the plant stem as houses. Some spaces are used for raising young ants. Other spaces are used for garbage. The ant plant uses some of this garbage for food. Here's the ant plant close up. There are many more kinds of strange plants. Bamboo makes noise when it grows. Some Australian orchids grow and flower completely underground. There are many amazing plants in the world. This is a picture of the bamboo shoots growing. And then the other thing that I didn't get a chance to share this morning is that there are two ideas to try after learning about these strange plants. One idea is a writing idea. So the idea is that you can choose two strange plants that you heard about in the book and do some writing comparing and contrasting the two plants. So you could choose, for example, the saguaro cactus and the Venus flytrap and find ways that they are alike and ways that they are different. Another idea is to choose one strange plant from the book to research further. Draw a diagram of the plant and label its important features. So those are two cool things you could do. Feel free too to go on Epic or PebbleGo and see if you can find out more information about strange plants. So that was today's read aloud in reading today. I also mentioned that the work packet is pretty big. So I showed the kids the different word work activities and just pick a few that they want to do to practice the two sounds for long E, the vowel teams EE and EA, and I will see you tomorrow.